What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the JTW Sports Show. And today we have a special little video. As you know, the NBA draft is right around the corner. The day we are filming this, it is currently Wednesday, July 28th. The draft is tomorrow. Super exciting. It's, the NBA season just ended. So it's a lot to look forward to. A lot of stuff still going on. So that's pretty exciting. Today, we're going to go through our mock draft. This is going to be a full first-round mock draft. The three of us are going to talk about it, and we're going to explain each pick. We're going to have a combined pick. We're not doing three separate drafts. We're just going to do the one big draft, and we're going to see how it goes. So I guess we'll get straight into it. The first pick in this draft is the Detroit Pistons. Finally, they won the lottery. They were one of the worst teams in the league for a long time, but they won the lottery, and, there's this one very, very special player. I think everybody, you guys, if you disagree if you want to, but he's the best player in the draft. He's going to be the first overall pick, no matter who has the pick. There's been a lot of talk between Houston trading for this pick, but I think Detroit keeps it. Also, in this mock draft, we're going to do no trades because that just makes things a little complicated. So
I'm pretty sure this already has the trades set up in it. So
okay, gotcha.
So like the trades that have already happened, but not any trades that.
So we're keeping the order that's with this app. So it's gonna choose our picks, and so Will, do you want to take away the first pick?
Yeah. So like Jimmy said, we all agree Cade Cunningham's the best player. He was the best player in college last year, in my opinion. The average
I think in a lot of people's opinion, he was the best player in college basketball.
26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, while shooting 43% from three. I think he is. A lot of people compare him to Luka. I've said that before. Looking at it, I don't think he's going to be Luka. I don't think he passes as well as Luka. But I certainly see, why people compare him to Luka. Yeah. Some other comparisons that I've seen are Grant Hill.
Okay.
And I can see that. Yeah, they're about, they're both 6'8". Grant Hill was more of a wing. Cade Cunningham is a point guard, which everybody's wondering, Detroit, they just drafted Killian Hayes last year. Wait, was it Killian Hayes?
Yeah, Killian
Hayes last year. And I mean, he showed some promise at the end of the year, but I think Cade, you could even slide him over to the 2, being 6'8". I mean, shoot, you could even slide him over to the 3 if you wanted to in certain lineup. But we'll go ahead and take him number 1.
I like his fit with the team. Again, I think he fits every single team in this draft.
Nobody's going to go wrong.
He is a Luka Doncic can play every position, every wing and guard position, I'm going to say. But, again, he's a super exciting player. I think he's a generational talent. And I think kind of the next 4 picks, in my opinion, are also very kind of similar. I wouldn't say necessarily generational talents, but I kind of want to go with the second pick here with the Houston Rockets. And we can talk. We're going to discuss among us. But, you look and you see where it says team needs and everything. It says point guard, shooting guard, mild. You got John Wall. You got Eric Gordon. And you can kind of scroll down there so you can.
Yeah. Their roster, they have John Wall. They have Eric Gordon. They have Christian Wood. They have Kelly Olynyk. Olynyk's a free agent. Dante Exum a free agent. I mean, they're not going to be good next year. Kevin Porter Jr., he's shown some promise. He had a 50-point game.
Jayshawn Tate, he broke out, his rookie year. He's also really good.
Kenny Martin Jr. They're just going to be one of those young teams that's not very good.
Rebuilding stages.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But I personally like Jalen Suggs over Jalen Green just because I've seen more of Jalen Suggs in college. Jalen Green played in the G League and he did decent, but
yeah, actually, I'm thinking the exact same thing.
I think the Rockets go Jalen Green here, though, over Jalen Suggs.
Yeah. Again, this isn't necessarily our opinions of what we want for each team to take, but what we think is going to happen, what we think each team is going to do. But I think I can agree. They're going to go with one of the Jalen's. Suggs or Green.
Yeah. I think one of the Jalen's. People have talked about Evan Mobley. I don't see them picking Evan Mobley. They just got Christian Wood last year, who's a young center. I guess you could slide him over to the 4 and play Evan Mobley, but they're very similar in my opinion. Plus, when you look at their team, they need guard play.
John Wall is going to be gone soon. Eric Gordon's up there in age. He's been in a lot of trade talks. I say, TJ, do you disagree? I think we got to go.
I think it's going to be Jalen Green. Yeah. I mean,
all right. So next pick, you got Cleveland. You got Cavaliers. They're also a really weird.
I think this is a no-brainer. Everybody knows they're going to pick Evan Mobley.
Yeah,
he's the best player available here. I don't even think we really need to talk much about it. I mean, they still have all these players on their team. Jared Allen, they're going to bring him back. I think they're going to end up playing both of them together. And I think a front court of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, athletic, crazy. Isaac Okoro is a young guy. He's good. Darius Garland.
You got Sexland still in the backcourt.
We've seen reports that they want to trade Colin Sexton. If they trade Colin Sexton here, I think they go with whichever Jalen is on the board, over Evan Mobley. But I don't see them trading Colin Sexton
within the next 24 hours
for tomorrow's draft. That's why I think they go Evan Mobley.
I think it's very clear, Evan Mobley.
With the fourth pick, TJ, your Toronto Raptors.
Rebuild season, baby.
Talk us through the fourth pick.
So looking at it all, I mean, Kyle Lowry, his contract's over, and then especially after last season, let's be honest, everybody's thinking he's going to be gone. Which we have Fred VanVleet, so I mean, we're fine at the point guard position. Center, like it says, team needs. We do need a center. I mean, that's something we did struggle with. But yeah. I mean,
Pascal can't play the 5. Y'all.
No, Pascal cannot play the 5.
Y'all were running out. Aaron Baines.
He can play the 4. Yeah, he can play the 4. And honestly, I already know. I mean, I think we know they're gonna go with Jalen Suggs. I mean, that's kind of what everybody's thinking, which I'm not gonna complain about at all. But at the same time, I'd rather if at the 4 spot, let's say Evan Mobley's available, I would rather us go with Evan Mobley. But
yeah, for sure. But I think everybody knows Jalen Suggs the best player available at this spot.
Yeah.
And the Raptors, yeah, they had a down year. That was, they had some injuries and stuff. I think they're at the point where like they're gonna go best player. They're a good enough team to go best player. They don't have to look for upside.
Right.
I think it's quite clear. Kyle Lowry, he's had his time in Toronto. I think he's gone. I think he's going to try to go to a competing team, a contender. And I think Jalen Suggs is a great way to kind of get young body in there with Fred VanVleet.
Because he can go in there and he can make a difference instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs is NBA ready right now.
All right, next pick we got the Orlando Magic. They have 5 and 7. And not 5 and 7, 5 and
8.
5 and 8. So it's kind of interesting with them. I think they are definitely going to take 2 different style players with their 2 picks, but it's all depending on who goes where and who they take first, and who else drops or not. Looking at this earlier, I mean, you have Jonathan Isaac, who I think is going to be probably maybe their best player next year. It's very, very arguable. He's one of the best defenders in the league. Was leading the league in blocks. Obviously, he has injury and that kind of held him back a while, but I really, really like Jonathan Isaac. I think they're going to keep him solidified at the 4. And you see the best 2 available right here, Jonathan Kuminga and Scotty Barnes. I think those are 2 interchangeable forward wing players. This one's tough, but I think right here, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. It's tough between them, but I think I'm liking Scotty Barnes.
Yeah,
that's what I was liking earlier with Scotty Barnes going with him.
Yeah, I'm going Scotty Barnes on this. Scotty Barnes, he's really a playmaker. Before his score, I mean, he averaged 10, 4, and 4. He only shot 27% from 3. That's partly due to him being 6'9", 6'10" in high school. He didn't really have to shoot. That's how a lot of players are nowadays. I think the Raptors the Magic, when you look at their roster, you got Gary Harris, Terrence Ross, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter's going to come back, Mo Bamba's going to come back, Cole Anthony, Chumo Kiki, RJ Hampton. All those players have something in common. None of them are, other than Markelle Fultz, who is coming back from injury. None of them are really good playmakers, and even Marco Fultz, he's not a guy that's going to average 10 assists. I think Scotty Barnes, I've seen comparisons. Some people have compared him to a young Giannis, which is high praised, obviously, but a younger version of Giannis when Giannis used to run point. Or Draymond Green, a more athletic, long Draymond Green. And if you could be either one of those two players, I mean, you're going to be, or something in the middle, you're going to be, have a great career. I think, like we all agreed on, Scotty Barnes, I think he's the best fit for the Magic here. And like you said, whoever they pick here, they're going to have another pick 3 picks later. So,
and I think it's interesting about this draft is this is actually a pretty deep draft. And like these players are very, very skilled. Again, you're not going to know what they're like until they actually get in the league. But I think from studying from tape and like from actually watching the season, it's a pretty deep draft. And you can get a really, really good talent. Obviously, there's a difference between the top 3, top 4 players, potentially top 5. They're up there. You don't get much better than Cade Cunningham, but there's a lot of these guys that can make a huge difference in the middle of the lottery. And I think that's what we're going with the next pick. This one's interesting. I think
I have James Bouknight.
James Bouknight. You see, James Bouknight is very, very interesting. I think he's great defensively. He has really, really good like talent defensively. He has a lot of potential is the word I'm kind of looking for. He's not the most athletic. He's not, all that, but I think
he's a scorer. Yeah, and that's what I like. That's what I like most about him.
I think he matches really well with Shea at the 1. I mean, I'm assuming they want to play Shea at the 1. It has him on here as a shooting guard.
They'll definitely play Shea at the 1.
Shea at the 1, and I'm actually with you on this. James Bouknight at the 2, and then Lou Dort at the 3. I think that's a great offensive scoring and defensive matchup between Dort and Bouknight. I think that's a good pick. TJ, what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't pay this pick that much attention as much as I did before this and then after this. This is one of those that I didn't really quite know what Oklahoma needed.
He's got a lot.
I mean, they have so many picks that honestly they could just
like that's a thing. I saw that they had so many picks, so I was kind of like, all right, they could kind of really do whatever they needed.
Right. So this is where it gets interesting. We're going to pick it up a little bit with the Warriors. The Warriors have 7 and 14. I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to draft a player at 7.
Really?
For a trade. And then at 14, they're going to draft somebody who they want on their team. So I think at 7, they're going to – personally, I think they should draft Jonathan Kuminga. I think he's the best player available. And I think they will use him in a trade packaged with possibly the 14th pick, but most likely trade Kuminga, another guy, probably Wiseman and Wiggins, and maybe another first for something.
You're looking for a big time blockbuster trade here, huh?
Yeah, I'm talking like a Bradley Beal type deal.
Okay. I like that idea. For the purpose of this mock draft, I'm predicting that everybody stays on the team. But also this is what we think they're gonna do. I think the way I was looking at it, your team right now, you got obviously Steph Curry at the 1, you got Clay at the 2, Wiggs at the 3 or 4, whatever you want, because I mean they like to. There's a lot of talks of Draymond at small ball 5. I don't know how I feel about that, especially when you have James Wiseman on your team. But like, there's a lot of talk about Wiseman getting traded. Kelly Olynyk's gone. They can't afford him.
Kelly Olynyk? Kelly Oubre?
Yeah, Kelly Oubre. Excuse me. I can't believe I forgot his name.
I know.
No, but I personally think that, man, it's tough. The way I saw them taking Davion Mitchell.
Why spend the 7th overall pick on your backup point guard who's going to play 15 minutes a night? To me, you just don't do that.
I understand. But they also, I really like Davion Mitchell. He's an older, more experienced college player. And the Warriors are a win now team. And that's why I agree with what you're saying with taking Kuminga, pairing him with a Wiggins, get some contracts going, and bring in a win now player. I think that's what they should do.
But if you're in a win now mode, why take a player that's not going to play? But
yeah, no, I'm saying I agree with you. The reason I had Davion Mitchell was because I know I was just thinking for also team needs, but also they don't really need anything in their starting five. He could be a good backup point guard for their bench unit, a bench scorer, all that.
Also, a guy like Jonathan Kuminga, you can slot him in even if they don't trade him, and he can still play. I mean,
I like that.
Great upside.
Him in, but I'm sticking with this starting five with Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Wiseman, and then your bench you have someone like Eric Pascal, who he's their backup four. Kuminga's placed as a four. He can play either forward. He's very versatile like that. So is Eric Pascal. I don't know. It's just I saw Davion Mitchell. I like Davion Mitchell there. I'm very, very okay with Kuminga there. So I say we take Kuminga just because Will presides over everything. But I like the idea of Kuminga, and that gives better options for later on the draft. But
and I have a team. I have a team that I think Davion Mitchell would fit very well.
I got you.
It's gonna be later than people think, but I have a team that he'll fit very well. With the 8th pick, here come the Magic again. TJ, who do you have the Magic taking here?
Honestly, at the 8th, because I did have Scotty Barnes going at the 5th with them. So in the 8th, the way it all kind of lined up, I was like, all right. I looked at their team needs and who was available. I have Franz Wagner going with them at the 8th.
I actually have him going 9th to the Kings. Right here I have Keon Johnson going.
Keon Johnson, yeah, same here.
Just because Scotty Barnes and Wagner both play that wing position.
Yeah.
Obviously is a team need, obviously. But also when you look at their roster, Gary Harris,
Markelle Fultz, I see him as their starting one right now. And with Cole Anthony, I don't know how he is, maybe come off the bench, but they obviously can make improvements and everything. But I think Keon Johnson is a plug and play player. He can play the 2. He can play the 3 even if you need him to. He'll be a little slight undersized for the 3 at 6'5", but he's athletic enough. He can fit that spot. And I like Keon Johnson there too.
Okay. Sorry, TJ, 2 over 1, buddy.
Yeah, it's okay.
9th pick. Here comes Wagner off the board. Some mock drafts that I've done. I've done a few of them. I wanted him to drop. Either the Warriors pick him at 7. I really wanted him to play on the Warriors. I feel like the Warriors are a perfect fit for him, being that he is such a great shooter and all that. But I think this fits the Kings well. If you look at it, they're looking to trade Buddy Hield. They got Harrison Barnes. They still have De'Aaron Fox, one of the best young point guards in the league.
Tyrese Halliburton, great defensive young point guard.
I think you can slot Wagner in, and he helps De'Aaron Fox. Trailing in transition, De'Aaron Fox finds him, for 3. I think this is a no-brainer pick. Obviously, he may, I don't want to call any of these players bust, but obviously he might not be what you want him to be. But I think he could fill a role immediately in the NBA. We are at a consistency.
Yeah, I like Franz.
Okay,
Franz Wagner
at 10. Memphis moved up. This is the trade that happened a couple days ago. The Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams, Valanciunas trade, and they swapped a bunch of picks. I can't remember which ones they were. But here, everything that I've seen since that trade was made is they're picking Josh Giddy. I don't know if y'all seen that or not. Josh Giddy's from Australia. He's 6'8". Right here they have him listed as shooting guard. He's more of a point guard, but everything that I've read in the last couple of days is they want to play him at the 2. Obviously he's 6'8". He can. Y'all probably don't know much about him. A lot of people don't because he's from Australia. But like I said, everything that I've seen has him going 10 to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, he's not really the greatest scorer in this draft necessarily. He also is, I think he's the 3rd youngest player in this draft, so he's got a lot of improvement to do. But I mean, from film that you've seen, like he definitely.
Yeah, I mean in the
I think he'll match with Ja pretty well.
In the Australian Basketball League, he averaged 10, 6, and 6 and shot 30% from 3.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we should speed this up a little bit now that we're out of the top 10.
The Hornets, the Hornets are going to draft Jalen Johnson. That's just a Hornets move. They're going to draft a player who's not good, either him or Corey Kispert, one of those 2.
Spoken like a true fan.
I'm just going to say Jalen Johnson because I know that's who they're going to draft, and they're going to mess it up once again. The Spurs, I have them drafting Alperen Sengun. That's a Spurs pick. I mean,
foreign. It kind of
yeah.
it screams Spurs. I agree.
But Alpern is very good. I want to talk about him for a second. He averaged 19, 9, 2.5 assists, 1.7 blocks on 64% shooting in the Turkish basketball league. Turkish basketball league is a very good league. He's only 18 years old, and I think he has very high upside.
Will, I have a feeling that this is a spot that you kind of figured that
this is the Davion Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell.
I completely agree with you. I see it here. There's been a lot of even kind of trade talks of Malcolm Brogdon. You got Karis LeVert's finally healthy, but
and to me, even if they do keep Malcolm Brogdon, you slide Malcolm Brogdon is 6'5". You could slide him over to the shooting guard position and play Davion Mitchell at the point.
Yeah, I think that's a
lineups. I think that was and I'm glad you picked up on that. I'm glad you picked up.
That was clever. I think personally here the Warriors, they're taking Corey Kispert.
See,
he's the best shooter in the draft. Dude, that shooting's been what the Warriors made their name off of.
I can see that. If Moses Moody's on the board, I gotta take him, but I'll go with you and say Corey Kispert because, like you said, I think the Warriors would pick him just based off of shooting. Even though I have a perfect team for Corey Kispert in a couple
later in the draft.
Yeah.
All right, I think we might have similar minds. But I do like this Moses Moody pick, especially with Kuminga going at 7. See, I had figured Davion Mitchell 7, so I'm taking Corey Kispert later on. But now that with Kuminga at 7, I agree with the Moses Moody pick. I think Moses Moody is actually pretty slept on. They have him as a 6.
I love Moses Moody, dude.
I think he definitely is better than the 16th best player. A lot of different drafts or mock draft sites have him at like the top 8, top 7. This dude's
I've seen him go in the top 10 a lot. I think they compare him to a lot of people compare him to like Mikal Bridges, that plays for the Suns, who we just saw in the finals. I think he's a little bit better on offense, not as good on defense as him. But
and he's still he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. He definitely
he shot 35% from 3 at Arkansas this year.
And that's again he's the stat that he's a lot better against non-ranked teams or teams without a winning record. I think a lot of players are like that, but still shoots pretty well.
That's usually how it goes.
I like Moses Moody. I think he'll be a good fit for them.
Okay. The Wizards, TJ. What do you think the Wizards should do here? Because the Wizards are in a weird spot. Who their best 2 players
they went out,
may or may not be on the team.
Yeah, I mean, it especially after last season. I mean, let's be honest. Bradley Beal expressed his frustrations. Westbrook. I mean, we knew frustrations were going to come with that. So, looking at it, I do think they needed to go with a point guard. So I had him going with Sharif Cooper.
Shout out Sharif.
I'm not high on Sharif Cooper at all, dude.
Really?
Like, he was cool to watch in college. I just feel like he's one of those dudes. He's not really going to translate well. But I could see them drafting him. I mean, he averaged what I want to say like 20 and 10 in his.
It was something like that.
I mean, he came out of the gate strong. I could totally see them doing that. That's what you want. That's what they'll get. Because I had him dropping like late first.
Really?
Yeah. 16 OKC. They took James Bouknight
24, 4.3 and 8.
Yeah. But also that Auburn team was not good, and he was the best player on that team.
Yeah.
He was taking a lot of shots, getting to the free throw line a lot, which is good for his small size. The Thunder here. Who did I have the Thunder taking? I'm pretty sure that I had the Thunder taking a big man. They just traded Al Horford and Moses Brown to the Celtics. Looking at their roster, it says Al Horford's on their roster, but he's
not quite up to date.
Alexei
Pokusevski.
They have Poku. Darius Bays is going to come back
to be really, really good. I actually, in the same way, I had a big man, I actually have Usman Garuba going this pick.
Okay.
I think he's kind of a solid. He's out of Spain, solid pick.
He's good. He was locking KD up the other day.
Yeah, I mean, and he's been playing a lot, like kind of on the level of kind of professional ball for a while now.
Yeah.
He played for Real Madrid, so that was kind of a cool thing. That their Spanish basketball team. He's a good player. He's not a scorer necessarily. I think he was averaging like.
If you look at him, I don't know if they have
5 points or something.
Trying to see if it shows his stats.
Yeah, he only averaged
4.8 points,
17 minutes.
That's 17 minutes. That's not bad. That's around like 9 points a game. But that's not what you need him for.
He's a great defender.
He's a great defender. I think you go with. I say Usman Garuba, but you guys can change.
No, I can agree with that. I mean, they have so many picks, like we said earlier. They're going to pick players
available.
See if they work.
Trade packages, maybe.
Here's the Corey Kispert pick. Perfect fit. You got to have spacing around Zion, Brandon Ingram.
On the same level, man. We're on the same level.
Corey
Kispert, best shooter in the draft, 100%.
Even if he is not good, I think he's Joe Harris at the worst. Which
I can see.
Harris averages 10, 12 points a game, shoots 43% from three. You can't ask.
Obviously, their current roster they have on this is a little bit wrong. It's a little outdated. Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams. We talked about it earlier on the Grizzlies. Now you got Jonas Valanciunas now.
Well, I think the reason the rosters are still like this is because the trade hasn't officially happened yet.
Gotcha. All right.
It
was the same way with Al Horford and
the trade has happened, but as far as
it hasn't been officially documented.
Yeah, like the players haven't moved rosters yet or something. I'm not really sure.
But I think Corey Kispert, perfect fit, makes sense, easy. Next pick.
Yeah. They have another pick. Wait, did I just skip a pick?
No, we're on the 18th pick.
Oh, okay. They just had a pick. Okay, at 16. Okay. Now they have another pick. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was goofing. That was weird.
Here, OKC, I have them going big again. I have them taking Kai Jones out of Texas. I watched Kai Jones a few times this year. He's a long, athletic guy. I think he could fit well with it, kind of in that Moses Brown mold. What he did for him. Just a guy that can get up and run and just do, some little things. If he doesn't pan out, they can trade him.
Yeah. See, I kind of had a little bit different idea here.
Mm-hmm.
Again, going big man's cool. I like that. But with the Thunder the way they are, with all these picks, I think they're just trying to stack up best available. And I think your Usman Garuba was the pick that you kind of think is actually, your big man pick. I have them going Trey Mann here, point guard out of Florida. There he's right there. He had a pretty good season with Florida, good player, and he's a guard. Now you in this draft already in the first round, you've picked 3 different positions that you can work around. But I do like your idea of them going big, getting another big guy. But personally, I had them going Trey Mann.
Okay. TJ, what did you have here?
I had him not Trey Mann. I forget who I had, but it wasn't a big man. So I mean, I like the Trey Mann as well because they did go already with their big man, but like we've said, they have
another.
They have so many picks in this draft that
there's a ton of guards too. Definitely guard heavy, but
here's the Trey Murphy pick. Trey Murphy is a solid player. Like it says right here, projected role 3-and-D. That's what he's going to be. 6'9", 206. That's perfect NBA size. I think this is a no-brainer for the Knicks.
Yeah, I like it.
The Hawks, Jimmy, your Hawks. Who did I have the Hawks picking here? I'm not sure. I can't remember who I had the Hawks picking here. What do you want from the Hawks here?
It's tough, man. I'm kind of basing it. We have a pretty complete team right now with.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, your team, you don't really need anything.
Yeah.
Backup point guard would help.
Backup point guard would help, and that's something I was thinking of. We can't keep relying on. I mean, Lou Will coming off the bench was cool, but also like I don't know. I personally really like Jared Butler here.
Yeah.
He played super well next to Davion Mitchell. He's an all around just a good point guard. I think he'll be a great second team guy for the Hawks.
Yeah. I can see that. I had Trey Mann going here to give him a little bit of size. But Jared Butler, it was either Trey Mann or Jared Butler, and I picked Trey Mann just because Trae Young is 6'1", whereas Trey Mann was 6'5".
You see, but that's where I don't see any of them rolling with the ones. See,
Yeah.
I see even if Bogdanovich isn't there anymore, I see Kevin Huerter 6'7". He can still play with the ones, but also with the picks that we've had recently with Cam Reddish wing, DeAndre Hunter wing, you got Onyeka Okongwu big man. I think this draft they're going to go a little younger or a little smaller, go for guard.
The Knicks here at 21. Looking at the Knicks team, I mean, really, I don't know if Derrick Rose is coming back. RJ's going to come back.
It'd be nice to see Derrick Rose come back, but
yeah,
I don't know. I want Derrick Rose on a.
I think he's going to go to a contending team. Since Kai Jones is still on the board, I like him over Isaiah Jackson. Just to get some size in there. Another athletic big behind Mitchell Robinson. Nerlens Noel probably won't come back. So,
I agree. I like Kai Jones.
The Lakers. I don't know what the Lakers do here. I have them taking Cam Thomas from LSU.
Okay.
Obviously, he's a little further down on the board. This guy can score the ball, 23 points per game. Doesn't really do much else, but I think he can come in immediately and score the ball. And when you look at the Lakers, when you watch the Lakers, when LeBron and AD aren't on the floor, they don't have anybody that can score and create their own shot.
right.
They do to a certain extent, but I just think Cam Thomas is the best scorer on this list. Best scorer as of right now who can come in and score from day one.
I like that. The way I was thinking it, I was thinking more of a Ayo Dosunmu out of Illinois, another guard.
I think that's a little early for him.
Honestly. I can see it. I do like Cam Thomas too. He's a great scorer. He's like what they need. I think they're getting rid of Schroeder unless I don't know. Like they offered Schroeder apparently a pretty big 4-year, like $120 million contract. I don't agree with that.
I think they're doing that to set them up for a sign and trade. And if that doesn't happen, you gotta keep him because there's no other point guard you can get on the market.
Yeah. But I like them. I think they're going to go out and try to get a big name like a Russell Westbrook. That's kind of the main one that I think they're going to go with. I like Cam Thomas here. Great scorer, just like you said. That's what they need. When their primary guys are on the court, they need a scorer. So Cam Thomas, great player.
All right. We will draft him. And the Rockets are back up at 24.
I think this is prime best player available.
Yeah, I think they just
Isaiah Jackson.
Get a little bit of size. That's kind of like you said, best player available. Here we go with the Rockets again. They have 2 back-to-back picks. This is from the PJ Tucker trade, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think they go with a guy with very high upside and Zaire Williams.
Same thing. I agree. He's got the size. He's got the potential. You took your good guard earlier, Jalen Green. You just took your size with Isaiah Jackson, best player available. Zaire Williams, he's up there. He could be a 2-guard, or I like him at the wing.
Yeah,
good player. I think it's a decent draft so far for the Rockets.
All right, the Clippers here. The Clippers are in a weird situation. They don't know when Kawhi is going to come back. If Kawhi is going to come back, I personally believe he'll come back. I don't see him moving on anywhere else. Paul George is still there. Marcus Morris. They really need some size. There's been a player linked to them and Daron Sharp, but I don't think they picked Daron Sharp this early. Because they do still have Zubac. They need help at point guard badly. So that's why I like Jaden
Springer. I like Jaden Springer.
Jaden Springer is, he's
guard out Tennessee.
He averaged 12, 2, and 3. Obviously, that's not perfect. He's not a playmaker, but when you have Paul George
Johnson on your team in college, it's kind of, he was definitely easily not the number one. So I like Jaden Springer. I think he can mold into a good player. Again, he was a lot of these kids. He was just a freshman at Tennessee, played well. Didn't
a lot of these later picks, you're picking for more team need than like best player available.
Yeah.
Chris Duarte is still on the board, which is crazy. But I actually think that he's going to go right here.
I was about to say
Another
deal of best player available, in my opinion.
And score. Jamal Murray's going to be out half the season. Even when Jamal Murray comes back, he can play with Jamal Murray. Will Barton may come back. He wants to. I don't know. Michael Porter Jr. He's going to come back, obviously, but other than that, I mean, they don't really have much scoring. They don't have one of those bucket getters. And I think Chris Duarte is a bucket getter. I don't know if they have his stats up here, but yeah, look, 42% from three on 5.5 attempts per game. I mean, we watched him. I remember watching, and he's 24 years old. I remember watching him I was in the training room getting my ankle worked on, and against Iowa, he was going off when they upset Iowa. So I think that's a great pick for them. The Nets here, this is where I think the Nets pick up Day'Ron Sharpe. He's huge. 9 and 7.
Dude, 265. This dude plays like an animal. Again,
I think he is I think he has a chance to be very, very good. He's a very underrated playmaker. I see him being kind of like in that Brook Lopez mold, in my opinion. He's more athletic. I think he's a better passer than him, but I think that's a very good player comp for him.
I like Day'Ron Sharpe. Will's a big Carolina fan. When it comes to basketball, I'm also I consider myself a Carolina fan. Watching this guy play, he was the only player really doing much. He gave it like a spark to the team, and that's what the Nets need. Like obviously
when you look at this roster, if you're looking, I don't know why they have Kevin Durant listed as a shooting guard, but they only have one center other than Nicholas Claxton, and I just think they need size. We saw that against Milwaukee. I think this is a no-brainer pick.
Day'Ron Sharpe was definitely kind of at the beginning of the season this year, I'd say immature player, but he definitely progressed so much.
I mean, he was projected a lottery pick coming into the season, and obviously he fell because he didn't have as good a season as they wanted to. But the 76ers here, 76ers here, in my opinion, they go for fit.
It really depends on if they trade Ben or not.
But I still think even if they don't trade Ben, I think they take Miles McBride.
Okay.
He's a great scorer. I liked watching him at West Virginia. He's 6'2", but he's going to be your backup point guard. And yes, they did draft Tyrese Maxey, but I'm looking at them. If I'm looking at them and saying they draft him just because he's a scorer. They need scoring on,
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all. Joshua Primo, he's not bad. Not a bad pick here.
They need someone that's going to take more than 4 shots a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I like Miles McBride. We can go with Miles McBride.
The Suns here. The Suns, I think, the best big man available is JT Thor or Charles Bassey. I think they go Charles Bassey just because he's a little bigger. This dude, he's 6'11", 235, coming out of high school. He averaged 17 and 11 this year for Western Kentucky. Coming out of high school, he was a top-rated recruit, and everybody was like, "Why are you going to Western Kentucky?" Obviously, so he could put up numbers like he did. I think he's a perfect backup to DeAndre Ayton. They kind of missed on the Jalen Smith pick a couple years ago. I think they have a chance to make it right and draft another big man here.
I think he can work well with Dario Saric even in that little bench unit. So I like that pick too.
The Jazz here. I think the Jazz. This is a tough pick for me. Just because when you look at their roster, I
see them going guard.
I see them going guard just because I don't know how Mike Conley if he's gonna come back or not. Jordan Clarkson's a microwave off the bench, but I honestly see
Favors. I don't know if I like Derek Favors long term, and I think they could use a they could use a JT Thor right now. Plug him in. He's got the size. He definitely. I don't know how he's going to play necessarily next to Rudy.
Yeah.
I
do see them. I see them going JT Thor or I would like Quentin Grimes here. I think Quentin Grimes is very underrated here. But we can go JT Thor with the final pick in the first round. So that's our mock draft. Obviously, this is not how it's going to go. This is what we personally think.
If it somehow goes this way, we're fortune tops.
Yeah, there's going to be at least one or two of these players that's going to fall to the second round. There's going to be a couple, strange things happening. First round players, or second round prospects, getting placed in the first round. If we get even 6 or 7 of these right, I'm gonna be happy, just because that's how draft day always goes. But I'm kind of confident in this. I like especially the first 7 really. It's up in the air through the Warriors with Davion Mitchell, Jonathan Kuminga. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just excited to see what kind of sleepers we got.
For me, my biggest sleeper, one of them I just mentioned, Quentin Grimes. He was Houston's best player on a team that went to the Final Four. I think he's great. He was a big time recruit, transferred from Kansas because he didn't really play that good there, and then he blossomed at Houston, won Player of the Year and all that. I think he's my number one. Not really sleeper, I would say. Just kind of like steal of the draft. Another one that I've been seeing, and it's funny because he's not even on really anybody's radar, but that is Herbert Jones. Herbert Jones at Alabama last year averaged 11, 3, and 6. But he also won SEC Player of the Year, and I'm pretty sure he was 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. And that's a guy that's not even going to get drafted first round.
I mean,
I think he has potential to be. I mean, he's 6'8", 210 pounds, 22 years old. I think he can come in right away and be the best defender on a team. That's how good of a defender he is.
The problem with him is he's a senior.
And well, that's why he's not going in the first round. If he was a sophomore, he'd be going in the first round.
He's kind of like a Luka Garza. You know what I mean? Luka Garza for 2 seasons now has been one of the best players in the league, in college at least. But he's a senior. If he gets drafted, it'll be in the second round. I think he's going to be. I hope he's super successful. I think Luka Garza could be a great player in the league. He's what a lot of teams need, but he could also turn into like a Mo Wagner type thing. A bench player. You can't really trust him. In a games on the line type situation. But I like this draft. I think the first few picks are kind of. As much as I want to say guaranteed, they're still up in the air. I think number 1 is kind of a guarantee. Doesn't matter who's picking. If Detroit, for some reason, wants to trade with Houston, who's apparently willing to give up a lot for him, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Detroit's staying with 1, taking Cunningham, and letting him ride. But this has been fun. This has been kind of cool. It's kind of a longer video. We kind of broke down, kind of analyzed a lot of these players and a lot of the teams and the team needs and everything like that. But this was fun. We're gonna see how it goes tomorrow night. We might make a little reaction video to to our mock draft compared to the draft. Maybe not. We'll see how that goes. But this was fun, man. Thanks for staying.
Thanks for watching. Comment down below who some sleepers you like, some of your favorite players you like in this draft. I'm excited for the drafts. NBA they know how to keep your attention during the offseason. That's one thing that other sports haven't really figured out. The NBA, they know how to keep your attention. So
shout out Woj.
Facts. NFL is about to start up. Training camps are getting underway.
Training camps are today.
College football is coming up. We're gonna be back on campus soon, playing football, doing what we do. We're gonna be making videos for y'all. I got a lot of stuff planned. I don't know about y'all.
IRL stuff, some cool stuff. Not necessarily just podcasts, not just sports talk, but
we got some videos. TJ's trying to do some things. Still waiting on him to get those done. He needs to hurry up and get those done. But
definitely some exciting things in the near future. But
got a lot going for y'all. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.